Good morning, good afternoon. How's everybody doing? Well, seem to be stuck in this balance, huh? I'm feeling better. Thanks, Keith. Harry, what's up? How you doing? Yeah, feeling better. I still sound plugged up, but much more energy than yesterday. Thank goodness. Woo! So we're like really stuck in this range here. Just can't seem to spend a lot of time underneath 77.52. Every time we dip underneath it, we seem to pop back up, you know? Like, who's the guy at Shadow Trader? Brad. He always says it's like a beach ball. When you push a beach ball underwater and it pops back up. So the look below and fail trade is good, right? It's a good balance. Now the thing, Raj, I haven't gone and drawn one because I don't really. I see these two highs, but that's a Globex high. I don't know. We'll see, right? But one thing we do know is these gaps are still not filled. And we still haven't put enough volume up here to want people to want a discount yet, you know? It's going to be an interesting, oh, here we go. If we take out 77, let's say 77.98, okay? You know? Sorry. Welcome. Is it Ian? Sorry, I got to put on my glasses. Ian. I think it's Ian. Welcome. Welcome to the stream. And welcome all the folks who are new, who are watching on YouTube. Nice to have you with us. Grain Monk, I do not know the answer to that question, my friend. I'm sure somebody in our room or somebody on the YouTube stream will be able to answer that. So, if we take out 77.98, be careful because we could have one of those runaway train situations where we just start booking. That's all we've got left over 98, right? Yeah, you're right, Doug. You are right. Let's go see. Oof, get the structure. We've had no correction to overnight inventory yet. Well, nothing significant. We had this down move in W, but no way did we even come close to the close. So you can see the markets are working well. They're taking all of that cheap stuff that we bought on yesterday's liquidation, gathered it all up, selling it much higher today, right? Yeah, it is kind of pre-corrected, Leslie. You'll have to forgive me. I'm a little slow. I'm a little slow on the uptake, as my mother used to say, which means not that bright this morning. This move down in W already corrected inventory quite a bit, as much as it could. So that makes the move higher much easier. So my cost basis was 49 to 54, double it to 64, double it again to 84, and now we're in 8 times cost basis, right? True, all day yesterday. Right. That flush definitely took a lot of short-term traders out of the market. Wholesale was able to grab some cheap inventory. The people who were short got to cover a little bit, and we're back to all-time highs. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And they had margin higher while they did it. So let me make sure I've got enough of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so 8 times cost is 78.24. You have no idea how to understand my charting? It's really simple. So when I wake up in the morning, I go and I find a cost basis. A cost basis is sideways motion, and you'll see there's a chunk of volume here. Then we take that chunk of volume and we sell it. So it's a market, right? So this is where we acquire our inventory. See here? And then this is 2 times profit, 4 times profit, and 8 times profit. So the charting is really simple, right? And the trades we like are when the market goes from one zone to another and back up. So this is 2 times discount. And then we would have 4 times discount, but we didn't get down there tonight. So the charting itself is really, really simple, right? The charting and the analysis is really simple. This is a TPO or a market profile chart. And I still have it on the screen because it shows inventory really quickly, and it shows the market structure very fast, like where the stops are, right? That kind of thing. And it also shows single prints, and it also shows a poor low. The overnight low is a poor low. So when the overnight low is a poor low, you don't short against that, right? When you see a poor low, a double bottom or 1 tick of excess, you know that there's buying competition. There is no intelligent reason to short a market when you see that. Hey Milo, what's going on? So that's what we're dealing with on the half-hour candle chart for those of you who are not market profile people. All I do, SG, is I look for, if you're just joining us, rewind 30 seconds. Hey, Juan. So just rewind 30 seconds or a minute, SG, and I went through on exactly how I do the levels, and I just drew the whole thing out. So I look for back and forth. So if you just walked in now, right? If you just walked in and you were looking at this, you could go, there's a balance here. You see that? You could have used that as your cost basis. Okay? It's where you see two-sided trade. On our half hour, right? We're looking for 77.94 and 3/4. No problem. Welcome. This is really simple. It's how the business works. That is a common misconception, Lewis, that a poor low is weak. A poor low means that there's buying competition and you should not short against it, and don't touch it on the short side until it breaks with follow through. It's highly unlikely it will break and there will be follow through. That's what they should have told you. A poor low is a double bottom or one tick of excess. That is one of the market profile teachings that unfortunately is really, really confusing for a lot of people, and very hard because they get a lot of misinformation from market profile teachers, right? It's just common sense. If there's buyers competing at, like, say, $5, you don't want to short $5. You want to buy $5, right? Is there any level of difference between a balance right now than mine? No, no. The reason is, Milo, you're selling the same product. So over here, we're going to open a second. So just give me a second. There we go. Now we're looking for a correction lower, right? So for example, if you're selling short, if you're going short because inventory is long, your first target is 77.83, okay? So say you're short 88, 87, put in some feeler bids at 85 and see if you can get tickled. If not, you know you got to buy the ask, right? Buy the ask. I'm bid 85 and a half. I'm short 87 and 3/4. I just got hit at 85 and a half. I got one bid left at 84 and 3/4. I'm flat. So I was shorting against the open, looking for 83, covering before. That's a simple trade. Why? Because there's a stop right there. Look at the red line. Pretty simple stuff. You can see there's a little bit of buying. If it breaks that, now come look for 79 and see if we bid 79. Inventory is long and it is correcting. Sellers are competing, therefore they are lowering price to capture the buying. Their cost basis is 77.70. They can sell the market all the way down to 70 and still make money. Those who bought it in the 80s are getting flushed out and competing with the sellers who own it at 70 cost. The next cost basis will be down here in the 53s. Simple markets. Simple, simple. This stuff's not rocket science. People love to make it rocket science so they can charge you all kinds of money. But unfortunately, it's not rocket science. Now, let's see if we can go tickle that 70. VWAP is, VWAP is at 71.5. So right around here, I'm looking for some bids. Just in this area here. You'll have to forgive me. I still sound like Donald Duck. My nose is still plugged up. Whew. One sec. I got to sneeze. We love simple trades that correct inventory. All trades are basically corrections or counter corrections of inventory. Those of you, I remember I said we were looking for 94 and 3/4. What did we get up to? Right, we got close, you know. We got close. There's VWAP. Let's see what kind of reaction we get. If you're taking a long off this, my stop would be under VWAP. Watch for the reaction. right? There's a little bit of responsive buying right off VWAP. They're front running 70. They're front running Milo because they need to buy size, brother. Close your eyes and pretend that you had to buy 5,000 contracts on the way down instead of 2. You're going to buy them where you can, not where you want to. Okay? That's all. Everything is about size. We forget that because we're trading small size. What was our high? 94. So you can see these levels are working real nice, Levels are working really nicely. No, not from other sessions. How we find VWAP? It's on your software. It's an indicator. It's the only indicator I have on my screen because it's an institutional benchmark. It's how traders and trading software is judged. It's called a VWAP execution model. Large traders buy size under VWAP and sell size above VWAP. VWAP is like a parking lot for the big traders. So a lot of traders will be covering here. Some will be initiating here. It all depends. So sometimes it's a bit of a rat's nest. Okay, what's next? If you are buying this area, right, if it's holding, right, you want to make sure that the market doesn't break, I'd say 72. If it can hold this area, if it breaks 72, you're in trouble, okay? Because it'll probably pop through VWAP. If it holds this area, you see the cost basis? Cost basis, right? See that? So you long 75, put some sellout orders out, Yeah, to trade, you don't need bookmap, nose print, footprint, fingerprint, all that crap. All you need to do is to be able to draw a straight line and pay attention, right? This is old school trading. This is old school trading. This is how people used to trade when we used to ride horses to work before cars were invented. Alrighty, right? It's a tricky long Milo. You got to be quick. That's why we do execution classes so you can get your speed up. It's like an offensive lineman having slow feet. Not really worth anything, right? Got to be quick, right? No use having a pulling guard if you can't get around the corner and pick up that blitzing linebacker. How did they send in trades? You punched them in. You literally punched people in the face and gave them the order. The good old days. Nice work, TBD. Well done. The rotary phones were great, man. You could throw those at people's heads and they'd never break. The receivers on those rotary phones are great. They're like weapons. And on a trade desk, sometimes you do need a baseball bat. Alrighty. So right now, all the inventory of the folks who are trapped up here, they're all just liquidating here. If this holds, we'll do this. Right? But if that doesn't hold, if this here doesn't hold, we'll drop down to 64. I see you have two black eyes. Must have been a good day at work. Yeah. I mean, who hasn't punched another trader in their life, right? I mean, that's just work. And then after you buy each other a beer, it's not a big deal. It's like the very first guy I ever threw out of a nightclub in 1987. My first night as a bouncer, I threw this guy out. I took out a center post with his head. The next day he came back, bought me a beer, and we're friends to this day. You know, some folks call the rugby same thing, right? Just a little bumping and grinding, you know. Let's see what happens here. The HR manager is the guy who used to throw hot coffee on people. Good stuff. All right, I think we're going to go a little lower here, right? So this short covering, when that's done, I think we'll drop the bid. When we do, the trade I'm really looking for is a look below and fail of 64. I don't want to short it until it cracks VWAP to the downside and takes out that 70 area. Come on. If you are short, you can stay short as long as we're under VWAP. Right? I screwed up. I shorted 70 half and I'm bid 68 and 3/4 just to see if I can get a print. Yeah, my execution's not that good. I'm going to scratch this. I scratched that. Scratch that. Not the greatest execution. It's okay to be wrong. Just be wrong quick so you don't lose a lot of money, right? You're going to be wrong in the business. It's just the way it is, right? And that when you scratch a trade, it tells you whether or not you're trading too early, whether your location's bad, or whether you're just plain wrong. You know. So found the bid at 69. See if we can. If you're long off of VWAP, make sure you're offered underneath that white line. Make sure you're offered underneath 76. Okay? The green candle is going to tell you where they sell into it. So say you're long 72, 73. Now you know that the sellers are here. Whoops, sorry. So you can plan out your trade, right? It's not glamorous, is it, Lewis? It's not glamorous, but it works. You can pay your bills. So grab that 73, selling 75 and a half, and I'm flat. If it holds 73, you can do it again. But you know that there's going to be a seller right there, you know? Just make sure you sell into strength, you know? If it starts getting choppy, leave it alone. Right? There'll be lots of good trades this month. Oh, I would hope that there are sellers at every tick, Jimmy. It's a crappy market when there's no selling. You're learning something now. You're learning how to be annoyed by the sellers. That's progress. You're making progress, brother. Making progress. Now it's a little bit of a coffee break, right? No, not right now. There's no room. It's not ready. The cake's not ready to come out of the oven yet, Jimmy. Right? Let me use another analogy. We're still caramelizing the onions. Just be patient. Right? Remember, there's no trade for you here anyway. You're waiting for your edge. Right? You're not going to be transacting VWAP anyway. So just chill. But it's okay. You're eager, which is making you frustrated. And that's cool. Right? Nothing wrong with that. Now just channel that energy, right? Channel that energy into, get the old eagle eye out, right? And watch. And channel that energy into watching the offer. There you go, Milo. A man after my own heart. Watching and saving money. Beautiful. That's how you get to me. All you have to say is saving money, and I'm in. Okay? Don't threaten me with a good time. All right. Remember, guys, this market you're going to have to be a bit snooty, right? Just like those billionaires, when somebody comes up to them with a money-making idea, they're like, why don't you call my people? We'll think about it. Don't take every trade that don't chase every pretty girl that walks by, right? Don't chase every trade. Be selective. So let's see if we can get down to the 64s, which is just right around here. And why am I looking at 64? Because that's the transition from 4 times cost basis to 2 times. So that's the trade I'm looking for there. This is where you let the wholesalers clean up the market, right? The shorts get to cover, the wholesalers get to do their, cleaning up. We're right back at the overnight cost basis. So now we wait and see who comes into the store, right? Exactly. Left a couple of contracts under the couch at 69. Go pick those up. It's always nice when you can kind of relax a little bit when you're trading. And this way, you're not always on edge looking for a trade. If listen, I only do business when it does this or this or this, right? The rest of the time, I'll let everybody else go and get nuts, right? But I only do business when my trade happens. Yeah, you become less trigger happy, right? Man, I got to clean up my desk. It's a mess. Oof. Remember, today at 11 o'clock a.m., right? Put this in here again. We'll have our execution class and markets 101 to help the new members. And if you can't make it, don't worry, it will be recorded. Yeah, when we get to 64, oh, we didn't get to 64. So that didn't happen. What I was hoping for, Alexander, was a look below and fail of 64. 11. Hey, Ron. Good. All's good here. There's some serious short covering arc, Roy. Definitely. Ah. Okay, what's next? Curious to see. Yeah, it looks like the short-term position's under 78. See that liquidation. See if we can hold 78. I'm thinking if we hold 78, Milo will rotate back up to the 84s. It's not an A+ setup. So if you're buying 78, I'd wait for a look below and fail of 78, right? And remember the position's just underneath it, so that's the only reason why you'd want to buy it. Right now, where it's just toying around that area. You know there's a seller at 82. We might get a little sideways between 78 and 82, right? Give it a bit more time, right? Yeah, see? It's not ready for prime time yet. That's why I like trading at an edge. You know, they're backfilling this big green candle right now, pretty much all the way down. We don't have targets when you're a market maker. You just trade the orders that come in. Why does it backfill? It's a sale. So my job was to sell stock, Ron. So what I would do is I'm rarely buying. Any kind of buying I'm doing is to show support so I can sell because I'm a distributor, right? And when you run deals, you run and control all of the supply. So the market makers are at your mercy. It's a little bit different situation than retail trading. Yeah, sellers put it on sale. Exactly, that's what the backfill is. Trading at an edge is where you get the best discount. Trading at an edge is a fancy way of saying where you get the best deal. So would you rather buy it at 74 or would you rather buy it at 64? I'd rather buy it at 64 and be gone by 68 when everyone's buying it at 74 trying to get to 80, right? For me, everything's about cost basis. Where's the edge? It's right here, my friend. The edge is right here. The look below and fail. Here there is no edge because you're right in the middle of the zone. VWAP is here. There's a lot of back and forth traffic. It's not clear, right? No problem. So if you are buying this, make sure you have your sell orders out because there's probably not going to be a quick move as there was last time, right? So make sure that you do get paid. No, the edge is not the bottom of VWAP at all. The edge is, Ian, is the zones. Like I told you, cost basis times 2 times 4 times 8. Don't worry, you're brand new. It'll take a little while to get used to it. The good thing is we have about 400 videos that you can look at that explain how this happens. That's why do they keep lifting there, Jimmy? Because that's where the cost basis is. There you go. Beautiful. Now you're cooking with gas. Nice. Yeah, don't worry. If you don't understand what I'm talking about, we got a ton of videos. The other thing is the room that I run is called Trading Syndicate. And if you sign up now, I got to do a little advertising. I apologize. But if you sign up to our room, we are giving away 10 free prop accounts. And our room is probably the best priced room there is. And I guarantee you'll learn more in a month with me than 10 years anywhere else of information you can actually use to make money. We won't try and sell you indicators or all that nonsense. We just want people to make a living. And the only way that they can make a living is by learning the business. Okay? You cannot expect people to make money in a business that they have no clue how it works. It's just delusional. You might have all the indicators and patterns and candlestick this and all that crap, but none of it's going to work. All you're going to do is lose money hand over fist. Right? Sound familiar? Learn a little bit about the business, make some money. Good stuff, Nathan. You made your yearly salary within 5 months of joining the room. Not bad for like $30, right? There's nothing wrong with patterns, indicators, but if they taught you why it works, you got a much better shot, right? If you don't understand why something works, it's very hard to make money. It's really, really hard to make money if you have no clue why something works. Come on, give me 64 so I can do my look below and fail. Ugh. Market's set to annoy right now. I'm really happy to hear that, Nathan. Thank you. Happy to hear that's working for you. Yeah, we keep the price low because it takes people time to learn, right? So if you're charging people a couple of $100 a month, they'll try it for a month or so and then quit. But if you charge them like $30-40 a month. They can hang in there for like 4 or 5 months, get it down, learn, ask questions. And if you do join the room, right? I'll do this, right? For our new members, if you do the join, I do one-on-one calls. Yeah, definitely. Right. I have lifetime coaching clients that I work with, right? I do a lifetime mentorship program. But, if you're brand new in the room and you want to chat, just message me. I'll hop on the phone with you. We're pretty much the only trading room where the guy who runs it, I'll talk to anyone, right? Will we get any algo-based trading classes? Oof. I think Steve's working on some of that stuff. It's a little bit above my pay grade, Nathan, to tell you the truth. Right? I know that's a question that you want to reach out and ask Steve. He is working a lot with AI and algo stuff. I couldn't program an algo if my life depended on it, right? I'm old school. So that is the future, and I'm sure Steve is working on that. Reach out to him. If you buy a share of Apple, do you get a discount on the new phone? I wish. I think those things are highly, highly overpriced, right? How is Crab Apple? Let's go take a look while we're waiting. Apple's going sideways between 300 and 313. How long have I been trading? 34 years. 34 years. I've taken 200 companies public where I've been the executing trader for the insiders. I've taken companies public in Germany, England, United States, and Canada. My specialty is cross-border clearing. And forensic trading. Forensic trading is my specialty. That is forensic trading and engineering short squeezes. That's my specialty. Yes, I was in finance. I was on an institutional trade desk, and then I also, after 9/11, I just worked with different crews taking companies public. Yeah, doing deals. Always doing deals. And I'm doing them again. Slowly, though. Taking a few companies public. Slow going. As long as you make the dividend cutoff date, Nick, you can. Not my area of expertise, though, my friend. What's up, Jem? How you doing? Yeah, don't ask me about U.S. tax law. None of my clients pay taxes. I don't know. Yes, Jimmy, sellers sometimes have to sell, right? It's like the no reserve at your uncle's auction. right? Yeah, my clients don't pay taxes because they put their stock in offshore accounts. Nobody even knows they have it, so it's a completely different world. Just competition, right? Right? So remember, Jimmy, you're not the only one out there selling contracts, right? And your contract is nothing special. Everyone's got the same contract. Come on, 64. That's a poor low right there. One tick of excess. Now it's fixed. You know what? Animal hustles, I have no idea whether it does or not. I've never tested it. There's the look below. Come on, give me some lift here. There we go. Long 64.5, out a little at 66. And if it can't get over 66, I'm out of the rest. I'm offered at 66 quarter. Let's see if I get a print. Come on, there we go. I sold one at quarter. Got a few left. Let's see. Give me some more. Come on, come on. There we go. There we go. Remember, I'm long 64.5. And where's my last contract? I'm offered at 67.75. I'm out. They took it. They took it. They took it. Beautiful. That's the trade I was waiting for. Simple trade, right? Had to wait for it a little longer than I thought we would, but it worked. We're going to run into some traffic in that 69 area. So remember, if you got them, sell them, right? Sell them like you stole them, right? So long 64.5, stop 64 or 63.75. Sold a little bit at 66, 67, all out by 68, right? The hard part was waiting. The hard part was waiting for 64. For some reason, I only had one cup of coffee today. So the hard part was waiting for 64. It felt like forever, you know? So those are the trades I like to take. I like to wait until you get the really best deal. Like pretend you're at like Saks Fifth Avenue discount store, right? That's like getting that $400 cashmere sweater for $50, right? You get the best deal, right? We're traders, right? We're traders. We should always be trying to grind away and get the best deal, right? Now a little back and forth. Let's see if it holds 64. I'm curious. No, the red line on the screen, Nick, is the offer. The green line is the bid. That's good though. Milo, all you have to do is pretend you're selling the same thing, right? It's the same product. That's why the cost basis zones work. If you're still long, you're going to hit some traffic up here. Just under 71. So say I had bought 10 contracts instead of 4 here, right? I would have kept a couple of runners and put my offers out. Now the thing is, if those offers do not get taken, get out of the trade. How's the coin of bitterness this morning? 63,660. Huh. Bitcoin needs a lot of time to clean that thing out, doesn't it? That one's testing your patience, isn't it? There's that seller right where I drew the white line. If those sellers see buyers, they'll lift the offers. And as soon as they see competition, they'll lower the offer. Woo! Someone short. They just came in to cover. The 1 minute candle chart is your best order flow software you'll ever get. It is your cheapest. It is the best order flow software that you'll ever get. Do I have a video on composite space? You mean SpaceX, the stock? Am I understanding you correctly? Definitely, Jimmy. What I was describing earlier. The trade? I'm getting a little thrown by this co-space thing. Oh, cost basis. Oh, I've got tons of videos on cost basis. Ian, tons of them. Thanks, Milo. Yeah, it's cost basis. It's how much you paid for your stuff. Right? We have a tendency in this business to overcomplicate everything. And it makes life really difficult for people who aren't in the business, right? Because they don't get to call BS, right? Because they don't know what's being told to them is real or fake. So what we try and do at Trading Syndicate is we try and cut through all the BS. What do you need to look at to make money? Because you can look at the VIX, you can look at this. You got people looking at the dollar, they're looking at this, they're looking at the carry trade, they're looking at interest rates, but none of them are making any money. Where do I buy? Where do I put my stop? And how the hell do I know if the trade's going to work or not? Right? And I don't want to take 10 years to learn how to do this, right? So what we try and do is we try and make it simple so people can analyze what the heck is going on really quickly and decide whether or not they want to do business or wait for a better opportunity. That's really what trading is. You're deciding, do I want to do business here or do I want to wait for a better opportunity? Right? And waiting for a better opportunity means waiting for that edge. Like how I bought 64 and a half, I was gone by 68. And the rest of it I ignore. So Ian Lopez, if you go back on my YouTube about 3 or 4 days, I think even 2 or 3, even this morning I showed people how to draw the cost basis and do that. In our room, we have hundreds of videos. I'm there all the time. I'm doing a class at 11 o'clock Eastern Time, and we'll be teaching people how to do it then as well. I only trade the edges, yeah, because I'm old and I don't need the drama. I'm cheap, Prism. I like to get a good deal, right? I like to get a good deal. I didn't make all my money for the day, Milo, on that trade. I only took 4 contracts, right? But yeah, it's not a trading question. But that's okay. Probably, I'm still not feeling that great, right? You can hear like I'm still really stuffed up. So when I'm sick, I tend not to trade a lot, right? I took that trade. That's okay. I don't have to make my daily goal today, right? The market will be here tomorrow and the day after, right? So because I'm old now, I try and limit the amount of money I lose, right? So if I'm not 100%, if I'm a little slow, if my mind is elsewhere, I want to be total. If I'm trading any kind of size, I want to be totally, totally focused, right? Yeah, but you got to remember, Jimmy, I've been trading for 34 years, right? So I'm not forcing myself to make that amount of money, right? If I feel I can't do it, sometimes a little humility goes a long way, right? Sometimes you have to have the humility to go, you know what? I'm not operating at my best. I'm not firing on all 12 cylinders. You know, Maybe I should just tone it down and chill out because tomorrow's another day. I'm 58. Animal hustles. I'm 58. Alrighty. Okay. If we can clear VWAP, we're going to take this stuff and we're going to sell it up here. Okay, so there's position under VWAP. Let's see how many people got short under 72. We're going to find out real quick. Right, we're going to find out real quick. How many people are short under 72? Steve, those are getting good. The graphics are getting good. No, I don't draw a new box, brother. I still the levels are working. Why would you abandon them, right? The levels are working perfectly. Don't touch it. Once you do your analysis, Milo, leave it the hell alone and focus on execution, right? That makes your life a lot more simple. Isn't that the way it always happens? The seller's always at your break even. Exactly. Which means you were too early in the trade. That used to happen to me all the time, right? And the seller's always exactly where I bought the damn thing. Market responds right back to where I bought it. And boom, the seller steps in. I'm like, bastard, right? Just means we're too early, right? No, in previous streams, what you're not understanding, Milo, is if we get past 16 times balance, then you can redraw the zone. You remember what I said? If you remember what I said, it means that if there's a balance zone and say we get a Fed announcement and the market rallies 60 points higher and then goes sideways, then redraw it. But in inside kind of a market like the one we've got here, right? It's an inside day. So why would you futz with it? Right? So if it breaks and it's up here after a Fed announcement or down here and going sideways, then you can redraw the balance. But right here, just leave it alone. You want to be as lazy as you can with your analysis and save your energy for execution. Yeah, exactly. Right? Yeah, it feels like they're looking right at your P&L, right? Definitely SG. I have found in retail trading, the lazier I am, the better I do. The more hyped up I am, the worse I am. I'm not talking lazy in execution, but lazy in, not being like too overeager. Like, oh, let's change the zone. Let's do this. Let's do that. No, just sit and watch and chill. And I find that really has worked. Because when I started retail trading, is it 2012? My buddies had a trading room in Texas. Exactly. They had a trading room in Texas, and they had like 400, 500 guys in there. But what they were doing is they were running a stock trading room, right? And they would get all these retail traders to come in, and then they sell their stock into the buying, right? So they'd say, okay, everyone, we're buying this stock, and you get 500 people rushing in to buy it, and these, excuse me, a-holes were selling from offshore and just crushing everybody in their room. That's what the early trading rooms were like. Yeah, he was never a friend of mine. He took one of my friends for 700 grand. That Saved by the Bell guy. He took down one of my buddies for $700,000 on that WISH stock. Took him to the cleaners. It's not a sustainable business model, but remember, Ronan, corporations are what, like $1,000? You register a new corp, start again. Yeah, that Zach guy took one of my friends down for 700 grand. I mean, he was not a market guy. He was just like a rich kid. Nice guy, nice family. He took them for 700 large. He would come and buy him dinner, pick him up in his Aston Martin, pick him up in the Ferrari, impress him. This guy bought 700 grand worth of Wish from $16 all the way down to zero. Yeah. I told him not to buy that stock. I told him to get out of it, but this guy was a good salesman, man. He kept getting to buy more as the stock kept going down. He kept, you got to buy more, you got to buy more, you got to go buy more. And he was selling him his stock. All right, next level 76, and then we'll be looking for the 79, 78 level. You know what? He got out. That guy didn't even get charged. He got charged, and he won his SEC case, or they dismissed it. And he was like blatantly robbing people, and people are like, it's okay. Okay, it's kind of getting a little slow. Does anyone have any questions? Let's go see what the cool kids are doing. There's Crabapple, Amazon. No, the company was called Wish. It was like a discount Alibaba. It was like a cheap Alibaba knockoff. It's delisted. The stock doesn't even exist anymore. It IPO'd at 30, went to 16. It was a Peter Thiel deal. The insiders gave themselves 1 billion shares of stock for free, and they did nothing but sell it. They sold it and sold it. They just filled everybody. And then they got all these influencers to come out and tell people to buy the stock. And they just kept selling like ruthless, like just incessant selling. Right? And they took everyone. They just took everyone. You know? Which is why I'm doing a course on investing. It's almost done. We're putting our final touches on it, where we teach people how to invest with common sense and have the critical eye of someone who actually creates companies when you're buying them. Yeah, Ian Lopez, stop looking at the economy and then trying to trade that. Just stick to the chart. That stock hurt a lot of people. Okay, past 77, we're going to 79. And, you know, I used to be the guy who was selling the stock for the insiders. But then I started meeting people who actually bought stock at 20 and had it trade at $2. And I was like, oh, crap. What is this? Feelings. Oh, I feel bad for these people. I got to teach them. They're getting scammed left, right, and center. You know? And that's why we do what we do. We want regular people to have a shot, see past all the BS, right? Cut through all the fancy sales talk. Because there's always a flavor of the week, right? It's either blockchain or AI or, you know, SAS, you know, software as a service. There's always some buzzword that they're trying to sell you, right? To make you buy, right? That's the business, right? EV, right? I remember Lucid Motors, LCID. Remember what was the truck that never actually had an engine in it, where the guy pushed it down the hill and he raised billions of dollars? Man, what was that thing called? It was an electric vehicle or some kind of. Trevor was the guy's name. And they didn't even have a working truck. They just pushed it down the hill and made people think it was running. What was it? The stock did really well. They sold billions of dollars of stock. It was a semi-truck that was supposed to have either a hydrogen engine or was it Nikola? Nikola, yeah, Nikola. That's what it was. Yeah, that guy really perpetrated one, eh? I still remember in the '90s there was a guy in Alberta who raised about $100 million from the banks because he built the first flat screen TV. But it wasn't a flat screen; it was a picture of a regular TV in a box that would make it look flat. He scammed. He scammed all the Canadian banks for like 200 million bucks. It was brutal. Yes, I have been around since when crypto was a thing. Yeah, yeah. I don't even remember what happened to him. Anyway, sorry. See how easy it is to distract me, right? Okay, folks. Thank you so much for being with us. Come into our room. We'll teach you how to trade. We'll teach you how to do deals. And if you're really good, I'll teach you how to hide a short position in Switzerland for a year where nobody can find it. Okay? That's at tradingsyndicate.org. Have a great trading day. Remember, we're giving away 10 prop accounts. And everybody in the room, remember, 11 o'clock, we have our execution class. The link will be in the room. Whoa! Big sell order. Good. Liquidation's healthy. 11 a.m. New York time. Yeah, in half an hour. Half an hour. The link will be in the room. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day. And we'll see you tomorrow morning. Bye for now.